Tonight on Global TV News Prime, 24 hours curfew imposed as Osun communal clashes escalate. In business, BOI WCCIMA unveiled 10 billion naira fund for women-led businesses. On the foreign scene, Trump orders revocation of security clearances for Harris Clinton. And in sports, Nigerian athletes missing as World Indoor Champs begins. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Now the news in full. The communal clashes involving Ifon and Ilubu communities escalated earlier today, spreading to the Erin Osun community. The governor, Ademola Adeleke, has subsequently imposed a 24-hour curfew on the affected communities. Adeleke had initially imposed a 12-hour curfew in the wake of the communal clashes that had displaced many residents of Ifon, Ilubu, and Erin Osun. Many of those displaced were observed on the streets of Okini, with some, especially northerners, coming out of the areas in buses. While the ongoing conflict is regrettable and while all hands are on deck to stop the violence, the public is thereby informed to take note of the activities of fake news merchants who are digging up old videos to discredit the state government. The videos being circulated of violence in other towns and villages in Osun are fake news and should be disregarded by the members of the public. The Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, has commended the progress made in implementing the Supreme Court judgment that granted financial autonomy to local governments in Nigeria. Chairman of ALGON Board of Trustees, Honorable Odunayo Atobere, made this known while addressing newsmen after a closed-door meeting with its members. Sharon Ajay has the details.
The chairman of ALGON's Boards of Trustees, Honorable Odunayo Atobere, emphasizes the need for autonomy to address critical issues such as security, health, and education at the grassroots level. With over 80% of Nigerians residing in local government areas, ALGON stresses the importance of empowering local governments to drive social, political, and rapid development.
Report that so far so good. We are impressed the way they are handling the implementation. Even in spite of some bottlenecks, I want to believe they are making progress. And all these are in the interest of, we need, as the administrators at the local government level, to ensure that life is made better, for the citizens at the local government level. And this is why we have been clamoring for autonomy in local government so that we can implement a lot of developmental issues, particularly on security, health, education, and so on and so forth.
The association noted that democracy has returned to the local government level, with state governors conducting elections, a departure from the past where tickets were handed out. This development is seen as a positive step towards effective governance at the local level.
We are making tremendous progress at the third tier of government to ensure that our democracy system is felt at the grassroots, because development, we have to start from the grassroots. It's a bottom-top approach to implement the laudable programs and projects of Mr. President.
The association further applauds the federal government's implementations despite encountering challenges, noting that the committee has instructed local governments to open accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for seamless financial operations. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
In a bid to caution the effect of economic hardship, the Imo State government has distributed presidential palliatives to Christian and Muslim faithfuls across the southeast and south-south regions. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, who represented President Bola Tinubu during the distribution at Mbisi Kanu Square in Owerri, urged both Christian and Muslim communities to continue to pray for the country. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, has the details.
Ndubisi Carlos Square in Owerri, the state capital. Truckloads of food items arrive for distribution as part of the federal government's relief program. The initiative coincides with both the Christian Lenten season and the Muslim Ramadan fast, providing much-needed support to the less privileged. Addressing the gathering, Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized that the palliative were meant for those in genuine need and called for transparency in the distribution process.
So I want, on behalf of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose gifts we are distributing today, and be transparent in delivering these foodstuffs to those who need it, the poor and the downtrodden, those who are not able to see what they will use to break fast.
The governor also urged the faithful to continue to pray for President Bola Tinubu while avoiding actions that could distract him from successfully completing his tenure.
So as you pray, pray for God not to allow the president to be distracted. As long as his time is there and is implementing his manifesto and programs, Nigeria will be a land of prosperity.
Religious leaders from both faiths were present to oversee and bless the distribution. They emphasized the importance of unity, charity, and mutual respect during this fasting period.
Here to talk about what you have considered very necessary with Mr. President to bring to the Christian community and the Muslim community. We want to say thank you, Your Excellency.
Our heartfelt gratitude to the President, and we pray that you will do more. How can we lose hope when Allah has sent hope in our midst here?
As the presidential palliatives has been distributed to both Christians and Muslims in the Southeast and South-South region, experts believe that this will go a long way in alleviating the sufferings of the people of the both region. From Ndubisi Carlos Square, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Still on, Imo State government has announced key initiatives aimed at enhancing electricity supply, advancing digital innovation, and promoting youth engagement. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Decline Emoluba, disclosed this while briefing journalists on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting. The report.
Speaking after the Executive Council meeting, chaired by the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Decline Emoluba, reiterated government's commitment to improving power supply through the Light Up Imo project. He says the initiative is designed to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity across the state, with completion expected in the coming months.
In the state, they have entered into an agreement for the Rush Electricity Company to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity to the 27 local governments in the state. So with that, that is a step further towards ensuring that the Light Up Imo project is a reality. So in the next few months or thereabout, that project will be realized.
The Commissioner also announced the approval of Imo Digital City Company Limited, a government-backed initiative aimed at building a vibrant digital ecosystem. He noted that the government will provide land and infrastructure to support technology-driven enterprise and innovation in the state, adding that government has assigned portfolio to 5 newly appointed commissioners to further strengthen governance and administrative efficiency.
We also have the agreement between the state government and the Silicon Valley for the establishment of Imo Digital City Company Limited. Also, we have approval of ESCO for the youth marathon stakeholders engagement against insecurity. So, Ministry of Youth will organize the youths in a marathon exercise.
The Imo State government reaffirms that it will continue to prioritize infrastructure development, digital transformation, and youth empowerment. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The Benue State Executive Council has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Hyacinth Alia and his administration for his efforts in taming insecurity and his leadership qualities. This was the unanimous decision of the fourth council meeting held at the Government House, Markani. Correspondent Felicity Indere reports.
Following the conscious efforts of the Governor Hyacinth Alia-led administration in addressing issues of insecurity in the state, the Fourth Executive Council meeting unanimously passed a vote of confidence on the present administration in the state. Deputy Governor Sam Ode, who doubles as the vice chairman of the council, moved the motion on his principle.
We have unanimously, as a council, decided and hereby passed a vote of confidence on the political and security leadership of our government.
Members of the State Executive Council were unanimous in their support for the vote of confidence on the governor.
High reduction in crime and insecurity in the state. That I can go home and stay for 3 days without having a meeting. And therefore, give me personally some kudos and thanks for all that you have done to bring us to where we are.
After thunder comes rain. So we are confident that there is peace at the end of this tunnel. Politically speaking, we affirm the fact that the governor is the undisputable leader of Benue State. Socially speaking, we identify the fact that the masses are still with us.
A good sailor is made by the turbulent storms that go through. And so far so good, you are sailing this Benue ship to the right direction.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who appreciated the council for their confidence in him, assured them that their support will spur him to do more for the overall welfare of the state.
Thank you so much for giving this vote of confidence, which again we re-engineer my thinking, my institutions, and all the planning, to ensuring that the oath I took, the missions, and the mission which all of us are on to, is brought not only to bear, but fruitfully executed.
He pledged that his administration will not relent until all displaced persons will return to their ancestral homes. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere, Global TV News.
The Nigerian Governors Forum says it cannot take position on President Bola Tinubu's state of emergency in Rivers State, emphasizing its role as a platform for promoting unified policies and collaborating for sustainable socio-economic growth. In a statement, NGF's Director General Abdul Lateef Shittu says, taking position on divisive partisan issues regardless of how it phases reflects a poor understanding of history. Rivers State has experienced political instability for nearly 2 years, with former Governor Nyesom Wike and his successor, Siminalayi Fubara, vying for power, causing a governance deadlock. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Usuev, called on stakeholders to take deliberate actions that will ensure water security, local water conservation programs, and water-saving practices. He made the call at a press briefing to commemorate the 2025 World Water Day themed Glacier Prevention in Abuja. The minister noted that though Nigeria does not have glaciers and they may seem distant from its immediate water challenges, their preservation is still crucial for the global climate system, and the rapid melting of nature's crystal giants has contributed to extreme weather events globally. And nations far from glacier region like Nigeria are not immune to these cascading effects. Meanwhile, the senator representing Anambra Central in the North National Assembly, Victor Ume, has fired back at allegations that he received $10,000 bribe to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's state of emergency declaration in Rivers State. A report alleged that 42 senators were allegedly paid to back the decision to suspend Governor Siminalayi Fubara. However, in a statement, Ume dismissed the accusations as baseless blackmail, insisting that he was not a part of any deal. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has stated that suspending elected officials in Rivers State could tarnish the country's image. He made the remark at the Higgs Sir Tumari Foundation Kalogun in Abuja. Jonathan, while sharing his thoughts about political turmoil in Rivers State, said, although it is not the norm for former presidents to comment on issues in the polity, so as not to heat up the polity, he insisted that the image of the country and how much investments the country attracts is heavily dependent on the actions of the executive, legislature, and judiciary of the country. The Nigerian Customs Service Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command says it intercepted a total of $578,000 falsely declared from an inbound passenger coming into Nigeria from South Africa. The Customs Area Controller in charge of the command, John Harrison, announced this while addressing journalists at the command. The passenger declared $279,000 and hid $299,000 on his body, bringing the total money to $578,000. This contravenes the threshold of $10,000 approved by law. The cash handed over to Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was jointly counted and confirmed by Customs and the Anti-Graft Agency. The chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has commended President Bola Tinubu for his proactive intervention in the political crisis in Rivers State. Governor Uzodinma also praised the National Assembly for standing with the president in efforts to restore stability in Rivers State. Amarachi Ibe has the details.
The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma and Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum has thrown his weight behind President Bola Tinubu's state of emergency in Rivers State. Uzodinma says the heightened tensions fueled by the State House of Assembly to impeach the Governor of Rivers State poses a serious threat to national security.
As far as we are concerned, is supporting the action taken by the President to restore normalcy and secure the state and by extension the country. So we are in support of it, and we will pray that all the parties should show remorse and restraint to allow wise counsel to prevail.
The governor also commended the National Assembly for supporting President Bola Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in the state. He therefore called on all the political actors to shield their sword and embrace dialogue.
I think the action of the National Assembly aligns properly with national interest, and I commend the National Assembly for supporting the action of the President and supporting the action position taken by all reasonable members of the political class in Rivers State.
Political analysts say that the state of emergency in Rivers State is an opportunity for those concerned to come to terms for the sake of the state. From Government House, Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Trump revokes security clearance from Harris, Clinton, and others. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the Bank of Industry has assured the Women's Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture of its commitment to providing financial solutions for female entrepreneurs in the sector. According to a statement from BOI, the commitment was being made at an event to commemorate International Women's Day jointly organized by BOI and WCCIMA in Lagos. The event themed Empowering Women Entrepreneurs, Unlocking Sector-Focused Financing Solutions, brought together over 80 women-led businesses to address critical financing gaps and explore actionable solutions for female entrepreneurs, and marked the launch of the project's Guaranteed Loans for Women, a 10 billion naira fund in partnership with WCCIMA aimed at supporting female entrepreneurs. Additionally, BOI introduced the BOI Impact Fund, which will provide both quality and depth financing for entrepreneurs in general, but with a special interest in women-owned enterprises supporting female entrepreneurs. Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has launched the state-wide area network internet and managed network services initiative aimed at transforming governance and expanding digital access across the state. Otti highlighted that the initiative include distributing high-performance digital tools, laying fiber optic cables across public institutions, and installing infrastructure for high-speed data transmission. The state governor announced the project on his official X page, describing the initiative as a milestone that will usher in technology-driven transformation. The Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted an undeclared sum of $193,000 concealed inside a carton of yogurt at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, officials have announced on Friday. Customs officials says the suspect, a passenger on Ethiopia Airlines flight number 951 from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, failed to declare the cash upon arrival, violating Nigerian financial regulations. Abdullahi Mewada, the spokesperson of NCS, said the seizure resulted from a targeted intelligence operation and meticulous baggage inspection. Over now to the Federation Account Allocation Committee has shared 1,678 trillion naira among the federal government and state and local government for the month of February. This according to a communique issued by FAAC and made available by the Director, Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Makwa. According to the communique, the total revenue of 1,678 trillion naira comprised statutory revenue of 827.633 billion naira and value-added tax revenue of 609.430 billion naira. On the foreign news now, Peru's Congress voted to dismiss the country's interior minister over his failure to contain a spike in violent crime following the murder of a popular singer. MPs voted by 79 votes in favor to 11 against to remove Jean Jose Santovaz for office over his political responsibility and inability to tackle the wave of citizen insecurity facing the country. The minister's dismissal comes in heightened emotions in the South American country following the shooting dead Sunday of cumbia star Paul Flores, 39, by hitmen who attacked his tour bus after a concert outside the capital, Lima. In a late-night move, President Trump directed federal agencies to revoke the security clearances of over a dozen individuals in views as political adversaries, including former Vice President Kamala Harris and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. The directive, outlined in a memo, stated that it was no longer in the national interest for these individuals to access classified information, CNN reported. Trump instructed all relevant government agencies to take the necessary steps to revoke any active security clearances they held and to immediately block their access to classified materials. The action also applied to individuals who had held positions in Congress, including several for previous administrations who had access to sensitive information during their tenures. And in sports now, Nigerian athletes are conspicuously missing from the start list and event summaries as the 2025 World Athletics Indoor Championship got underway in Beijing, China. In a report, the country's participation was dealt a blow by visa issues, which depleted the country's 10-man contingent. As of day one of the event, they were yet to overcome the issue as the names of Nigerian athletes billed to compete were missing from the championship schedule. The World Athletes had published names of 10 Nigerian athletes for the meet either this week, with a contingent expected to compete in 6 events: the women's 60 meters, women's high jump, women's long jump, men's 400 meters, men's shot put, and men's 400 meters relay. Nigeria recorded their first win of the 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign thanks to a brace from striker Victor Osimhen, which secured a 2-0 victory over Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium in Kigali. The Galatasaray striker netted 2 first-half goals to mark his first involvement in the qualifying series and also took his national team tally to 25 goals, displacing Segun Odegbami to become Nigeria's second all-time scorer behind the late Rashidi Yekini. After giving the team an injury scare when he fell on his hands in the opening minutes of the game, Osimhen grabbed the first goal in the 11th minute, getting to the end of the lofty free kick from Ademola Lookman and turned the ball home from a perfect touch at the far post for Nigeria's lead. Over now to boxing, heavyweight legend George Foreman has died at the age of 76. Known as Big George in the ring, the American built one of the most remarkable and enduring careers in the sport, winning Olympic gold in 1968 and claiming the world heavyweight title twice, 21 years apart, the second making him the oldest champion in history at age 45. He lost his first title to Muhammad Ali in their famous Rumble in the Jungle fight in 1974, but overall he boasted an astonishing total of 76 wins, including 68 knockouts, almost double that of Ali. Now, to end Global TV News Prime, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. Brought to you that communal clashes involving Ifom and Ilubu communities escalated earlier today, spreading to the Erin Osun community. The governor, Ademola Adeleke, has subsequently imposed a 24-hour curfew on the affected communities. And in business now, the Bank of Industry has assured the Women's Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture of its commitment to providing financial solutions for female entrepreneurs in the sector. And on our foreign scene, in a late-night move, President Trump directed federal agencies to revoke the security clearance of over a dozen individuals in view as political adversaries, including former Vice President Kamala Harris and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. And finally, in sports, Nigerian athletes were conspicuously missing from the start list and event summaries as the 2025 World Athletics Indoor Championship got underway in Beijing, China. In a report, the country's participation was dealt a blow by visa issues, which depleted the country's 10-man contingent. And that's it on Global TV News Prime. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.